Thanks you guys a ton. My name is Jacob Luchansky. I'm a mathematics here at VMI. I wish we were able to do this at VMI. Obviously we can't because of COVID, but here we are, and I'm going to tell you guys about video games and their benefits. Alright, so the first thing that you need to know is the counter side to my argument, and one of the main points of the other side of my argument is that essentially that video games are a waste of time. People see it as people see video games as a big waste of time because there are certain things that you can do with that time that are kind of more beneficial to you and to society as itself, and that's one of the bigger sides of the argument. Another big counter argument to why video games aren't beneficial are there are better hobbies out there. Hobbies such as sports, any kinds of sports that you can do. You can make crafts. You can also just do anything that you can think of that is for fun that a person does counts as a hobby. And people see video games not as a hobby for the most part. So they kind of see it as a kind of side thing that doesn't really count as really much anything. But people do see other hobbies that are better for a person and society. Another thing that people think video games do to a person is they melt your mind away. They see it as more of a discrepancy against your brain rather than a benefactor. And they also say that it weakens your mind as well. So I'm here today to prove all the things that I said prior are false, and I'm going to prove to you why they're false. Alright, so dealing with hobbies, video games do count as a hobby. A lot of my friends, including my whole family, we all do play video games to pass time because nowadays we can't really do much because of coronavirus. So video games is one of the main things that we do to pass time here. I myself play Xbox, my little brother plays Xbox, my older brothers play Xbox. We also play a ton of other games together, so it's a lot of fun. I really find it enjoyable, and a lot of other people find it enjoyable too. So one of the main things that I have against the counter argument is that why disrupt something that people find fun? So just because you find something fun, like let's say sports or crafting, doesn't mean that other people find that stuff fun, if that makes sense. For other people, video games are fun, and actually a lot of people now find video games fun, and they also see it as a sport. And in most colleges, they have e-sport teams now. I know at NC State they have an e-sport team, at least for a couple different games, but it is competitive sport, and it does engage the mind. All right, so the social aspects. Some of the social aspects that you get from video games, it does stimulate your brain. It does give people serotonin. It also gives people the negative kind of chemicals that you have in your brain, because it does sometimes induce what gamers call rage. Rage is definitely a huge thing in the gaming society, but other than that part, I'd probably say 90% of the time, people that play video games, they play them to have fun, and they get fun from these things. So why take enjoyment away from those people? You can also see that it is a family bonding thing as well. Like I said before, all my family essentially plays video games. One of the main kind of consoles that we play together as a family is actually the Wii. The Wii is one of the most sociable gaming systems known to man, because it requires, for most games, to be there in the same room and play together, such as Wii Sports, Super Smash Brothers, all that good stuff. Mario Kart's really another popular one that a lot of people play. My family leads towards more Wii Sports and Mario Kart because we all have a lot of fun playing together. It brings us kind of closer together, gets us all into one room, because usually nowadays when you're on your phone, everybody has their phones, everybody has their laptops and online, the internet. So it brings the whole family into one room, and we actually start talking more, and we actually become closer, in my opinion. So I know that's true for my family. It's more than likely true for a lot of other families around here too, especially if some of you guys have gaming systems at home, especially you can probably remember some times playing Wii Sports and bowling and always yelling at your little brother or something like that when you're playing it. It's always a fun time. So one of the more physical things that video games do give you is hand-eye coordination. You can get this from sports as well, but some people aren't as athletically inclined as others. So how do they stimulate this process? They play video games. What hand-eye coordination does is essentially I can connect my hand to my eye, and let's say I want to catch a ball, I can catch a ball. The same thing with video games, it's through a screen. If I want to move to the left or shoot to the left or look right or look left, I have to coordinate my thumbs and my fingers to look left or right or whatever the heck I'm doing. So that's one of the benefactors of physical benefactors of the video games. It also makes you smarter. So there are some strategy games out there that do stimulate the mind. It makes you think, it makes you problem solve, it makes you think out the box. One of the bigger video games that I can think of is Portal. Portal is one of those games where it's a really sci-fi game where you can shoot portals in all different directions, and you jump through it, and you're in a whole new place, and it makes you think, and it's really fun. Chess. There's also online games like chess, like puzzle games where you have to go through a maze and find different pieces in order to get through the puzzle, and stuff like that. Really just kind of engages your mind and makes sure that you are getting smarter while you're playing. Video gaming is also not for all ages. Like I said before, my whole family plays it. So my dad, my mom, my little brother, my little sister, we range from 14 and 15 to all the way to like 70. And my dad's obviously the oldest one here, but he's probably one of the most competitive people I know. And when we're playing Mario Kart, God, he loves it. It's so much fun. But it like I said before, it's not for everybody, but it also is for all kinds of ages. There's different games as well. So I'm going to show you guys a quick video of I know one of the speakers before talked about explaining how to play Minecraft, and this elderly woman's around 87 years old, and she finds huge enjoyment and she passes time playing Minecraft. So I'm going to show you this video. Just give me 1 second. I had this set up before, but it obviously didn't work. Why isn't this working? I'm sorry guys, I don't know why this isn't working. I had it all set up before and it was running well, and oh, here we go. Okay, here we go, cool.
And this is the one I'm building right now. I'm doing a rainbow pattern on the wall. It's kind of confusing. But it's going to be nice when it's done.
Oh, come on. All right, so she's 87 years old, and she's been working on that project, and there's a whole bigger scheme of things that she also worked on in that world, but I want to show you guys that part because that obviously was very detailed. She placed every block hand by hand. She created every piece of that. No help, she dug it out, everything. It took 6 years. 6 total years in order to make that stuff. Pretty insane, but obviously she likes to play video games, and 6 years is a long time, so she's been doing it for a long time. And yeah, so that's the main point of that. All right, and in conclusion, gaming is not a waste of time because people find it fun, and just because some people find some things fun and other people don't, doesn't mean you should bag on them. Gaming is fun for most of society. I know at least most of the people that I know have played some sort of video games, be it on a computer or on a console. Gaming is also a fun hobby for most people, so other people also find other hobbies more fun than others, and video gaming does count as a hobby because it does insinuate fun within people. And gaming also makes you smarter. Even though some people do say that video games make you dumber, in fact, video games actually do make people smarter in most cases. There's not really any cases that I can think of that make people dumber through video games. And then the last thing is gaming is for everyone. It's not just for little kids, teenagers, all that good stuff. It's for everybody, like I showed you before. It's for the elderly, it's for us, it's for everyone. So that's the end of my presentation, and thank you guys. I miss you guys a ton, and I hope you guys are staying safe through coronavirus.